días. Hola. This is a lesson on descriptive adjectives, or los adjetivos descriptivos. Adjectives, of course, are things that describe nouns, people, places, and things. And they're used in Spanish with ser, which we learned in our first unit, with expressions like soy de Canadá. Of course, I spelled Canada wrong. Or soy profesor. Or for you, it would be soy estudiante. You can also talk about what kind of person you are, which we did a little bit, like soy inteligente or eres inteligente. So let's talk a little bit about what these are and how they're different in Spanish. Just like we learned in the first unit that we can't just say a table, we have to say un or una. So una mesa is a table, unas mesas is some tables, un chico is one boy. We have to make them agree whether they're masculine, feminine, plural, or singular. So when we look at these, Juan is nice is different than Elena is nice. Juan es simpático, Elena es simpática. Ellos son simpáticos. Notice, it is a sexist language, which means that if there's 6 girls and 1 guy, the masculine form dominates, and you say masculine. There are some movements to try and change this, but so far that is the practice in Spanish. So, in general, O and A will identify whether it's masculine or feminine, but not all words are like that. Consider these examples. El muchacho es alto, el muchacho alto, los muchachos altos. So, the tall boy, the tall boys, and in Spanish you would say those tall boys. La muchacha alta en las muchachas altas. The tall girl and those tall girls, or the tall girls is how we actually say it in Spanish. So that's the normal way to do it, with O's and A's. But as you know, we were using the adjective inteligente, and inteligente, and anything that ends in an E like that, doesn't actually change. So you would say el chico inteligente or la chica inteligente. You can hear my dog barking in the background there. Sorry about that. Notice they still go. Notice this. So, as I was saying, that is for adjectives that end with E. They don't change whether they're masculine or feminine. Adjectives that end in OR vary in both gender and number. So, for example, trabajador would be masculine, trabajadora would be feminine. Notice there's an extra E that gets added there, trabajadores, but not in the feminine, trabajadoras. The good news is, most verbs, most adjectives fall into this category with the O and the A, and then there are a few in that category. What do you need to know? You will find it very useful to memorize these lists and get used to using these adjectives to describe people. You will be asked to describe people in your family as alto or alta, bajo, interesantes, simpáticos, and then maybe even trabajador, difícil, And you'll be also asked to describe yourself with different qualities, to be able to identify yourself as joven, maybe pelirrojo, or in your case, likely pelirroja. So these will be a list of adjectives that will be very helpful for you to know. Also, you'll find on this page a list of different forms of nationalities. You'll want to pick a couple and be able to talk about them. Helpful ones are canadiense, norteamericanos, estadounidense. And then you can pick, based on your interests, which ones you want to remember. Now, you'll notice that some of them do some changes depending on their endings. For a feminine or a masculine person who is Chinese, you would say Chino or China, Mexicano or Mexicana. Whereas Canadiense, ending in an E, you wouldn't have any different for masculine or feminine, as we learned before. And that's it. Those are descriptive adjectives.